Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Discriminating Gamer. Say, what was maud'dib's favorite music group? The Spice Girls. Ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to go ahead and take a look at Dune Imperium Bloodlines from Direwolf. Dune Imperium Bloodlines from Direwolf is the latest expansion to your Dune Imperium or Dune Imperium Uprising game. This game brings a lot of new rules, new minis, and all sorts of new adventure to your game of Dune Imperium or Dune Imperium Uprising. Now, before I begin, I will just say this game is compatible with both Dune Imperium and Dune Imperium Uprising. I have only played it with Dune Imperium Uprising as I got rid of my copy of Dune Imperium when I got Uprising. I should say I think the expansion is playable with both of them. I feel like it's a more natural fit with Dune Imperium Uprising. There's specific cards and abilities that are here that go directly with Dune Imperium Uprising, and you would have to remove a few of these items to play Dune Imperium. But with that said, I still think it would be highly playable with Dune Imperium. This expansion gives you 9 new leaders. You've got Duncan Idaho. He is a 1 difficulty. He allows you to purchase the Swordmaster board space for 2 Solari less. He has Into the Fray with a Signet Ring. You can actually take an agent and deploy it to the combat zone. You've got Esmer Took, also a 1 difficulty. He has his own tile overlay, the Tuk's Siege. And whenever you send an agent to the Siege, you get 1 Solari. And whenever an opponent sends an agent there, you get an Intrigue card. His signet ability is to smuggle spice. You can place 1 bonus spice on Tuk's Siege, or you can take 1 bonus spice from a maker board space. You've got Chani. She's a +2 difficulty. She's got Tactician. Whenever you retreat or lose any number of troops from the conflict, you advance your tactics token along her board that many spaces, earning rewards as you reach them. Reset the token after reaching the end of the track. Her signet ability is Fedaykin Maneuver. Retreat any number of your troops, or with 2 influence with the Fremen, you can exchange 1 water for 2 card draws. You've got Piter Debris, and he is a 2 difficulty. He's a twisted genius. At the start of the game, you shuffle the twisted intrigue deck and you put it near the Peter DeVries player. And then at the start of a round, you can draw a twisted intrigue card. His signet ability is Harkonnen Advisor. You get 1 troop. You can't deploy the troop to the conflict during that turn. You've got Count Hesimir Fenrig, and he is a 2 difficulty. He's got Assassin. Whenever you trash a card, you gain 1 Solari. His signet ability is Corino Liaison. You may trash a card in your play area, or you may go deep cover with a spy on the Imperial spaces. You've got Kota Odax of Ix, and she is a level 3 difficulty. She's got Secret Project. Now, at the start of the game, you can peek at the bottom of the tech tile stack, so you can place 1 of those techs there on her board. And whenever you can acquire a tech tile, you can actually purchase the 1 on her board at a cost of 1 spice less. Her signet ability is Reverse Engineering. You can either get 1 spice, or you can trash one of your tech tiles to get an intrigue card and draw a card. You've got Liet Kynes, a level 3 difficulty. Arrakis Paleontologist, you ignore the influence requirement of Siege Tabur, and you summon no sandworms for each one you would summon. Instead, you can trash a card, you can gain a spice and an intrigue card. Her ability is Judge of the Change. When you send an agent to specific places on the board, you get specific rewards. You've got Steersman Yurkroon, and he is a level 3 difficulty. He is a guild navigator. He's got strange form. You start the game with no water and without a signet ring in your deck. He's hungry for spice. Whenever he gains 3 spice or more in a single turn, he gets to draw a card. But you've also got Plot Course. Instead of your signet ability, at the start of the game, you shuffle the navigation cards and draw a hand of 5. You choose 4 to place face down above the leader card in any order. You return all the others to the box. Whenever you reach 2 influence with a faction, play the next navigation card above, starting from the left. Finally, you've got Gaius Helen Mohayam, and she is a level 3 difficulty. Clandestine. Each card you play has the spy icon. Whenever you could recall a spy to gather intelligence, you must. Her signet ability is Listeners. You get a spy on green, or you can buy a spy for a spice. Now, this game brings a few new ideas and concepts. Now, one of the big things you've got here are Sardaukar commanders. Now, with the Sardaukar commanders, essentially there are places on the board where at the beginning of the game you are going to place the minis of the Sardaukar commanders. Now, when you go to these places, you can go ahead and take the action as normal, but you can also pay 2 Solari to claim one of the Sardaukar commanders. Now, off to the side of the board, you actually have the Sardaukar commander tokens. There's a stack of them, and you place 4. When you claim a Sardaukar commander, you can go ahead and pick one of those tokens to put out in front of you, and these will give you certain abilities later in the game. Now, when you do claim one of the Sardaukar commanders, you can place them in the garrison. However, if you have the cross swords where you can put units in the conflict, you can put it into the conflict as one of the 2 units you place in the conflict, and it has a combat value right off the top of 2. Now, what you can do is with the skills you have for every Sardaukar commander you have on the board, you can go ahead and use those. Now, if you're triggering combat, then on kind of a 1-for-1 basis, your Sardaukar unit must be in the combat zone to trigger one of your skills, one of your combat skills. You have to have one guy in the garrison in order to trigger one of your persuasion skills during the reveal phase. So there's a lot of things that are going on there. Now, once the conflict is resolved, that Sardaukar goes back into your pool. Now, you can't just get him normally. Rather, once per turn during a reveal phase or during your agent's phase, you can go ahead and pay 2 Solari to bring him back to your garrison or into the combat if your agent is on a space which allows it. Some cards here have the Spy with Deep Cover icon. Essentially, what this allows you to do is if another player has a spy in one of the outposts, you can go ahead, play that card, and place your spy in there alongside it, and it functions just the same. Some of the cards during the reveal phase will have an ability 6 Persuasion plus, and then some special thing you can do. And what that means is if you can generate 6 or more Persuasion on that turn, you have access to that special ability. Some cards have the combat icon, which means when you play that card, you can go ahead and deploy 2 of your troops from the garrison into the combat zone. Some of the conflict cards have wild battle icons. Now, what that means is in Dune Imperium, when you are matching the icon on a battle card, on a conflict card, to one of your objective cards, that scores you a point. Here, with the wild objectives, you can go ahead and score that without having to match the icon because, of course, it's wild. So that's a way that it makes it a little easier for you to score another victory point. Now, you also have a tech board. Now, this is kind of like the tech boards we saw from Rise of Ix, but what happens here is it's a little bit simpler. You've got the tech board off to the side, and if you go to any green space, you can go ahead and purchase one of the tech tiles, spending its cost in spice. So it's an easier way to just go to a green space, take that action, and buy one of the tech tiles. Now, if you have a seat on the High Council, you automatically get a discount, -1 for the cost of spice. Now, there's also some additional rules for solo play and different player counts, the 6-player count, which you can do with Dune Imperium Uprising. I haven't played those. I've just played 3-player games here. So let me just basically tell you what I think of what's going on. First of all, as I say, I feel like this expansion is better suited to Uprising, though it can still be played and enjoyed with the regular Dune Imperium game. Now, the Sardaukar abilities are very cool, and they really kind of provide a new area of conflict because, of course, you want to go to those spaces to claim these guys because you want those abilities. Some of the combat abilities will radically change conflicts. In fact, I've seen that happen in our games when you go to the into combat and somebody has abilities, that's something else you got to take into factor. Can I beat this guy even with his abilities? How are my abilities going to come into play here? It leads to some very intense competition during those conflict spaces. Also, too, it's kind of cool to bring tech into it here in a very interesting and engaging and frankly easy to use way. Now, I really enjoyed the Rise of Ix expansion, and I like how it brings in tech. I think this one kind of does what that does. It does it a little bit easier to bring it in here. Now, you can actually use the Rise of Ix expansion and the other expansions with this game. There are special rules for that. I have not done that yet. I'm not somebody that generally likes to mix and match my expansions when I play one of the Dune Imperiums. I either like to play with this expansion or that expansion. But I played years ago. Or a while ago, I played the Rise of Ix and Bloodlines at the same time, or and Immortality at the same time, and it was just a bit too much for me. I prefer to just play with one expansion at a time. But nevertheless, you do have the option where you can add this with the other expansions. All told, we really enjoyed this one. My friends and I really got a kick out of the special abilities that you can get here. Some of the cards that come into the game are quite fun, and there's always little surprises and fun and interesting things. The 6+ persuasion cards, the command cards, are very interesting because they can give you some pretty good abilities as well. All told, I play games with this. They're usually very tight and a lot of fun. We really enjoyed Bloodlines. Now, having said that, I will say, of the 3 expansions I played, Rise of Ix, Immortality, and this one, this is probably my least favorite of the expansions so far. However, I still enjoyed it quite a bit. I still got a huge kick out of this game. And I don't know, I just enjoyed some of the stuff with Rise of Ix, like with the overlays that you put on the board and how you're getting tech there. And I also appreciate kind of the whole other kind of track board for Immortality and the other cards for Immortality. They're a lot of fun. But again, having said all that, Bloodlines is great. And if you're a completist like me, I think you're definitely going to want to pick this one up. On the Cody scale, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to give this a 7 out of 10. It's a fantastic expansion. Well, thank you once again for joining us today on The Discriminating Gamer. As always, we'd ask you to check us out on social media, Facebook, Twitter. Please like us there, and please leave comments for us. We'd ask you to please leave a comment for us here on YouTube, and please like and subscribe to us on YouTube. We really appreciate that. We'd also ask you to please give a thumb to this video on Board Game Geek. And if you do like the kind of content we bring here, we'd ask you to check out my other channel, that is Cody Carlson, PhD, where we talk about history, military history, books on history, fun stuff like that. I also put some of my lectures up on that channel. And I'd also ask you, if you do really enjoy what you see here, then I would humbly ask you to click on the Super Thanks button and leave a tip. What did the American patriot living on Arrakis say? Don't tread on me, rhythmically.
Yeah.